Hello, Tiffany Brooks Browning, first, third, and second person. How are you today? Great. Awesome. Super awesome. I guess we won today because I fulfilled my promise to the entities up here connected to law enforcement that I wouldn't drink today until 5. Today is April 24th, 2026. And that they would give me money for what they set me up for and or for ruining my life for the last 4 years after I got off drugs to be a good mom to my kids because I couldn't stuck in the position I was in for 3 years, which wasn't my fault necessarily. How I got into the situation, right? How I got into it was not my fault. But and then me not being able to get out of the situation was not necessarily my fault either, in my own mind. But that really has nothing to do with what I'm trying to talk about right here. I'm trying to talk about some stories that I've heard about and stories that are personal stories and of me and my friends and people that I know and what they've been through and or what could have happened. Like a choose your own adventure thing. And maybe I'll someday get the text message for it and make a self-help pamphlet or something. I don't know. But anyway, they said we won today. Or they won. My people won up here today. I submitted yet another email to them once again saying the same stuff I've already said. And, it's just, they said if they had said from up here, the angel people or whatever, or whoever you want to call them through my computer, however you want to look at it, that if I didn't drink till today at 5, did I say that I didn't drink till today at 5, that they would give me money next Friday, which is May 1st. But in October, back when I was making costumes with my daughter, I went to my ex's house where she lives full time and has since pre-K. She's now almost 15. For Halloween. He's like, what will it take you to keep you connected? And I said, over $1 million at this point. You've stolen 4 more years from me, almost 4 more years, for me being able to be a good mom to my kids because you won't disconnect me. Okay, and that was in October. Since then, I've had a heart attack. There's something bad that happened in my brain. And in Jesus' stripes, I am healed, Anyway. So, that's really has nothing to do with what I'm thinking about. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to delve into stories without reiterating things I've already said about myself and my past. But let me just tell you something bad happened. So I was a stay-at-home mom, right, until like 2018, 19, maybe even 20. And we broke up, and he had somewhere to go. I didn't, so he took my daughter, with him and my stepson, and moved in with somebody else. And it wasn't his fault. It wasn't my fault. His parents had sold the house we lived in. And me and my mom lived there too, so me and my mom became homeless for a while, right? Anyway. But I didn't do drugs before that. I was a stay-at-home mommy to my baby girl. And anyway. So me and mom were chilling in the Walmart parking lot and stuff, Walmart parking lots, and I met this guy, and he was really nice and sweet. He was young. He was like, 28. I think I was like 38 then when we broke up, and it was like 8 years ago. And he is flirtatious and funny. But the funny part was, I met him because my mom locked her keys in her car, and we had spent like almost 24 hours trying to break into her car. Several people tried to help us or whatever, Slim Jims and everything, right? And anyway, his partner, like him and his partner, rolled up to Walmart, and he went in the store to jack some stuff or whatever. But I didn't know that's what he was doing. But anyway, his partner walked up, and he's like, "Oh, you guys need help or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah, my mom's she locked her keys in her car, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I can hook you up, And so the Slim Jim is sitting on the ground. He's sitting there with a hanger or something different, thinking that he could help us. His friend Adam goes in the store, right, and then he comes out or whatever, and somehow or another he walks by us. He snatches the Slim Jim off the ground, jacks it, and walks over towards his car. And his partner is like, look at me. He's like, bruh, did you see that? I'm like, what? He's all, he just took her shit. I'm like, what? He's all, he just took her shit. I'm like, what? He's all, this. And that's his partner. And I was like, what? Hey, motherfucker, what the fuck? And he turns around, and I'm all, hello. And I start walking towards him. And I was like, I saw you take that. And he's like, huh? I didn't take nothing. I'm all, bullshit. Lift up your shirt. And he's all, okay, I'm sorry. I'm a thief. I'm sorry. My bad. And he hands me the thing. I was like, get your car and pull it over here, bro. So he goes over to his car. He pulls it over next to my car. Next to my own car, where his friend is literally trying to break into my mom's car to get her keys out of the fucking car. We've been there for almost 24 hours, And then so while they're doing that, I'm over the breaking into my mom's car thing. Like I had like 20 different people try to help me or whatever. This little Toyota. Anyway, and so I'm sitting in the passenger seat, he's sitting in the driver's seat of his car, and I'm drinking whiskey. Homeless with my mom living out of her car too, almost. Well, actually, we weren't homeless yet, but that was the future for us. But anyways, I'm talking to him or whatever, and we're talking or whatever, and he sees me drink. He's like, "Hey, let me hit that." I was like, "Okay, here." And so I gave it to him or whatever, and so we're passing this drink back and forth, the whiskey or whatever. I literally lived right across the street, and I had lived right across the street, and we hit it off kind of, which is weird because I was just literally in a stay-at-home mom relationship with a good guy for 14 years. I'd never been around thieves or anything scandalous whatsoever. But his personality vibed with mine. His personality did, like his energy did, and maybe it's just because I was drinking. But anyway, we exchanged numbers or whatever, and his friend ended up getting my mom's car open, and they bounced, and me and my mom were happy, and we went back to my house. And I ended up texting him or calling him later on, because then after that, it was that weekend that happened, that he broke up with me. My ex broke up with me that weekend, and the weekend that I met him. And so I ended up texting him, and he's like, yeah, I'll come out to see you, or you should come out and see me or whatever. I was like, okay. So anyways, one thing led to another, and I ended up going out there. Or maybe he did come here. I can't remember. But anyways, it doesn't matter. All that's fucking irresponsibly not the business code. Because now this is a totally different fucking story. This is not what I was trying to do. I was trying to get on teenagers and when you're a mom and the fucking situation. Okay, I guess this is the build up to the story that's never going to go anywhere because it's nothing but a 7-hour long video. This is absolutely nothing because you can't even stay on track. Any freaking ways. So that weekend, my ex broke up with me for sure, and he was the only guy I'd ever talked to besides my ex for 14 years. We were together for 14 years. So he talked to a thief. They're saying, oopsies. Way to learn your lesson the hard way. Okay, but anyways, and so he ended up coming. He had broken up with me, right? So that guy had come down to visit me from where I live in Salem. I didn't know that he was homeless or anything, or that he was even a drug addict or nothing at that point. And all I knew is that he was cute and he was younger, and he liked rap. He liked all the things I liked. He liked to drink, and he was fun, other than the thief part. And anyway, and so he came down and he picked me up and and he's like, we're gonna go to Seattle. I'm like, for what? He's like, I gotta go get some rotors for my truck, right? He pulls up in this. It's not a really ghetto truck. I can't explain it. It's kind of like a monster truck, sort of. and so I get in the truck, and he's like, we're gonna go get these rotors for my truck. I was like, oh, okay. So we're driving towards Seattle. We get there. They don't have the rotors. They're not the right rotors for the truck or whatever because he's having brake problems. Meanwhile, he's literally stopping the truck with the emergency brake. Oopsies! It wasn't even a stick shift. It's not even like you get downshift in the first gear. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't that. It's just pulling on the emergency brake. And I'm pretty sure that rope on it still. It must have been a really old truck for that to be the fucking case. Maybe it was a stick shift. But in any case, I don't remember, man. All I remember is I think it was on the way back, I noticed that he's doing something with his hands over there. I'm all, what is that over there? What are you doing with your hands? He's like, because I mean, I drove a stick. I learned how to drive on a stick, you know what I mean? And he's like, oh, I'm stopping the car. I was like, what? He's like, oh, I have to pull an emergency brake. What do you mean? You have to pull an emergency brake? He's like, I don't have any rotors. There's 0 brakes on this vehicle. I have to use the emergency brake to slow us down. I was like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Could you not have told me that before I got in the truck with the flip? So anyways, we're nearing my destination, and I can't remember. I think at this time I was actually homeless, or something. Maybe not, but anyway. And then so we get up. We're going down north or south 205, and we get off on the SR 500. Wait, was SR 500 back then? No, it was SR 500. Wait, yeah, SR 500, right? So we get off on SR 500, which is basically 4th plane. So it's coming north from Seattle. It's 4th plane, then middle plane. All right. So I lived off of 4th plane down there on Ford Road. Anyway, so we're getting off. We're getting off. We're getting off 205, and I know. Well, apparently God doesn't want me to tell that story because that's a pretty messed up one. Nothing. It was supposed to be directed to teenagers that might, be thinking about making a mistake when they're in 8th, 9th grade, but it's going this route. So, anyways, so there's a suicide in there. There's an STD that ruined her life in there, and there's a pregnancy in there that also did not ruin her life, but something bad happened there too. So, anyways, it's 3 different stories, but anyway, so this story is so we're driving down 205, and we get off on SR 500, right, and we're speeding because he's going pretty fast, and we get off the inner whatever the fuck it's not called, the exit, and then you go up this little hill, and then you got to go down a hill, and you go down a hill, and there's a red light, and then there's a main street in front of you, but if you go through the light, you can get back on the highway, right, which is SR 500, but that I can't remember what that road is right there. It's 112th, right? So you get off the SR 500 ramp to wherever we're going. Anyway, we get off the ramp, we go up the hill, we're going down the hill, and he goes to pull on the brake to slow down, and it snaps. The motherfucking brake snaps. And he looks at me, he goes, oh shit, no brakes! I'm looking at him like, what? We're literally heading towards a red light. There's a fucking real street in front of us, and then an on-ramp right across the street, back onto the highway that we just got off of. I'm like, you've got to be joking me. You've got to be joking. I was like, okay, calm down, don't panic. Okay, so there's no brakes at all. He's like, nope, no brakes, there's no brakes. I was like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the light. My seatbelt on. We're going to go through the light and you're going to get back up on the ramp because he didn't know the streets where I was from, because he's from Seattle and we were in Vancouver. I was like, you're going to go through that light and you're going to get back up on the SR 500 freeway and then we'll figure it out from there. And this is literally a conversation that happened within like 3 seconds, right? So we get to the light. It's a green light. Thank fucking God there was no cars in front of us. We got to go through the light and he goes up the hill back on SR 500. So it did slow us down a little, but not enough. Okay, so meanwhile, we're still going like 50, 60, 40, whatever it wasn't. And then the next thing is another light, and then you go forward, which is there's nothing you can turn into without like a 90-degree turn, right? So it's like, okay. And so I'm thinking like in my head, okay, what are we gonna do? If he can't slow down to turn, like we're gonna be fucked. But if he takes the turn on the fourth plane, there's it's like this little curve, like you can kind of turn onto it like a curve, And I was like, okay, you're going to take this next right. You're going to take this next right on the fourth plane. He's like, okay. So he takes the curve and we're like almost skirting around the curve. Like we're still going pretty fucking fast. And then the next light right there, by then we were kind of slowed down. The curve slowed us down a little bit. And I don't remember if it was a red light, green light. I don't know. I was like, take this exit. So that exit leads onto like this side road. And I had no idea where we were going to go from there because I didn't know it was over there, right? So he takes the right turn onto that road. Mind you, there's no brakes in the fucking car at all, like none. We're just sitting there like hoping this works, And so he takes the right turn, and then I see a parking lot, an empty parking lot, and I was like, it's on the left, and I was like, okay, turn into the parking lot. And so he turns in the parking lot. I'm like, just go in circles until we slow down, right? And so he pulls in left into the parking lot of this big, huge empty parking lot. There's not curves. There's nothing, It's a good move on my part, in the vigilance department. So we're going in circles, but we're still going kind of fast, right? And next thing you know, woo, 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 woo. And they're the cops pulled in behind us. Right, let's be cops. Don't drop that gun tonight. Hey, don't drop that gun tonight. Okay. So the cops pull in behind us. And I've never been in trouble before. At this point, I'm wondering, like, I'm thinking in my, okay, this kid must be crazy. He drove down here from Salem with no brakes. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, so we're driving around in circles in this parking lot. Pull over. Like my heart is jumping out of my chest. Oh, I'm going to jail. I'm going to prison. I know he's a felon. There must be something wrong here. There's something definitely not okay. I don't know what to say, but it's like I go to jail. Right? And we can't stop. We literally can't fucking stop. So we're driving around circles. We must have did at least 3 rotations, which feels like 20 million. And the cops are behind you. And you barely know this guy. And anyway, so Adam's yelling out the window, I'm pulled over, I can't pull over anymore, my brakes are out, or something like that. Like whatever he said was super like farm boyish sounding. Like he was one of those fuck around and find out kind of guys, like he'd clearly been raised somewhere different. Anyway, and the car finally stops. The cops come up to the window and they're like, why didn't you stop? He's all, bro, my brakes went out. I'm all, yeah, they did. Like we were driving down the highway and it snapped. He's all, what do you mean it snapped? I'm all, Adam? You want to take over from here? Anyways, Anyway, one thing led to another. He showed him how it broke, and he showed him the rotors or whatever, and he's looking at this whatever boy he is, and he's just looking at him like, you stupid motherfucker, you're just stupid as fuck, he's just looking like dumb, and he can tell that I'm like, I think he could tell that I was like a good girl and like had no idea what's going on. Clearly I thought I was in the wrong position or something. Anyway, he's like, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna let you go this time because clearly you need to save your money to fix your brakes. You guys are gonna have to push this off of private property and then fix it somewhere different. And then they left us. So me and him pushed the truck. It took us a while. Like a while. It's a big truck. We pushed it like way down the road, across the street and into this cul-de-sac. And then he stayed in it. I don't remember how the hell I got home, but I did get home somehow or another. Anyways, it's just like that's just the start of that journey. And yeah, so anyways, somehow or another he got that truck to Applebee's, and I don't know how the hell he did it, but he did. I don't know if he got it towed there or what, but he got that truck taken to Applebee's, which was closer to my house than where it was parked. And so he was stuck there in the truck, and so I was bringing him food every day because he was stuck, and I had no clue that he was homeless or anything at that point. So I'd bring him food and water every day. This was after he broke up with me. My ex broke up with me, I'd bring him food and water and clothes, or not clothes, but food and water and stuff, because it was summertime on top of that. So I'd go there, he'd be passed out in the back of his truck. He's sitting there sweating, like dehydrated. I'm like, here's some water, here's some food, I gotta go, And then I'd go back home to my kids and shit. And anyway, that happened for I don't even know how long until something different happened. I think it was until they sold the house, and I used him to move all of my stuff from my garage to my storage by himself. He even helped pack it up. I didn't go with him that I recall even once, except maybe to open it. I mean, it was literally like, do you know those humongous storages like you can fit a yacht in? Yeah, okay, well, it was kind of like that. Okay, not a yacht, but like at least one car, like a huge car with plenty of room to work on it all the way around. It was a big one, like, and at least, I don't know, I remember I used to call it, like, it was at least 12 feet tall, at least, or maybe 15, 30. I don't know. It was a big one. And it was full from top to bottom, front to back. And there was literally like maybe 2 feet in the front and like a little space over here next to where the electro outlet was and the light switch. And he did almost all of that by himself in a matter of 2 days with my car. So he would come, I got him somehow or whatever, and he would take my stuff. One load. It probably took maybe 2 days. And so he put all that stuff in my storage unit. And then it's time to go. Because his parents had sold the house. So, I left. I left with him, and I don't even remember if my ex was there with my kids or not, or if they'd left already, because I don't really remember because it's just not there anymore. But anyway, I don't know. That's just a funny story, guys. It took 25 minutes to get to that part of measurement. And I think I'll unprivatize it now because this is not what I was going to say was private. But this will be part 1, I guess. Sad diary. Part 1. Save.